the Doctor in the TARDIS. Remember that. No matter what you do, remember that. Tattoo it to yourself if you have to.
Okay, jeez. You don't have to be so intense.
I'm sorry.
I just really like tattoos. Hello everybody, my name is ProfPixel, back once again on Mad Men with the box for Doctor Who, Redacted. Yes, we're here for episode 3, Lost. Ooh, ominous. But yes, we're here to discuss this episode. And before I go over the events, I will give you my initial non-spoilery thoughts. Yes. Overall, I think it's a solid episode. And I know I felt this way for the other two, and at this point I think there's like 4 released, so I'm late. Sorry. But when it comes to this episode, there's a lot good going for it. You have the characters going ahead. They're realizing something's going really wrong, and I know at the end of the last episode we were kind of thrown into the action, but here in episode 3, we kind of toned down a little bit, and we get to come back to Earth. And overall, I think that it is truly solid from pretty much start to finish. The intrigue is important, especially when you don't have a visual guide to help you and you're listening solely to the work. And I think that the writing has played out strong here. But that's about it for the non-spoilery section. No, if you're worried about spoilers, then you should probably step away. You should probably step back, think, maybe I should check this out for myself. I hear it's a really good show. And if you haven't been watching my reviews, you haven't heard how good of a show it actually is. And that's disappointing. But you've been warned. So, let's go over what happens in this episode. Well, where we left off, robot. Yes.
Destroy all humans.
But not in the typical robot way. No, because this one, I believe, is Juno Dawson. But we get to see as Cleo and Jordan make a run for it. They can't get back for Ronnie Chandra because Ronnie is, well, not there anymore. Off the hologram. So Jordan tells Cleo, we gotta get out of here. And Cleo's like, no, I have to go save her. And Jordan points out, she's not there. And Cleo's like, oh, okay. Ultimately, they run out, they freak out, and she wants to run back in, and almost actually does, until they turn around and see that the hotel is gone. The whole event has weirded the both of them out, and Cleo goes first thing to go talk to her friends, because she feels that Abby and Shauna should know about this. So that's what she does. We cut straight to the call, and yeah, she's going over all the events, and of course, babe, you're crazy. Anybody could have called that. But she's insisting that everything she went through is real, and understandably, because we went through it with her. And while they aren't sure about it, they want her to calm down, and they change the subject, digging into the fact that people are going missing. And they have hit national news now, where they're turning channels, and you can hear newscasters saying, these people in this man, blah, 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 and it stacks on and on. And ultimately, they agree that something weird is happening. We do get to cut into some of the slice of life. I called it because we get to see Shauna with her grandma in a cafe, and she admits that she is romantically interested in Abby. She, of course, says, listen, I don't like Craig, but it's because he doesn't actually see her. I'm not going to go into that. I don't know. I think that there's a side of me that feels that it's definitely off-putting to have your romantic interests just in the background, lurking, always there, waiting to jump for the chance to, hey, let me in. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. It's not slice of life stuff. I push past. But we get to see something interesting with Cleo, because Cleo is researching for the podcast. Yeah, she's digging into Abby's way about it. She because she's on a call with her, she actually gives her a little bit about that, but yeah, it's fine. But she explains that Ronnie, her family, they've gone missing. They've disappeared. And Cleo starts to wonder if all these disappearances have to do with the TARDIS. And Abby, at that moment, decides that she also needs to look into it, because all of this could be connected. But my favorite bit is actually here after, because Cleo is trying to get to her job. She works for the Queen Victoria Theatre. But there's confusion because the theater is no longer called that. Queen Victoria does not exist. It's the Lost Queen Theater. And Cleo starts freaking out. We do get a little bit with Abby as she's out with Craig. We don't hear Craig, of course, but she picks up hearing Shauna. Earlier, they mentioned talking about going to meet a woman named Tanya, because she claims that Ryan's missing, that Ryan Sinclair and his grandfather gone. Well, now she claims she doesn't know who Ryan is. Who the hell's Ryan? Ryan who? Ryan who? Not Doctor Who, Ryan who? But that's not the freaky thing. All the tweets about it are gone. The news reports mentioning Ryan and his grandfather, Graham, gone. Something is happening and making people disappear. But Cleo goes outside. She can't take what's happening right now and goes to call, well, Abby and Shauna, and has a conversation. And they also do not know who Queen Victoria is. That all there is the Lost Queen. They have no idea who it is. Just disappears. Gone. Erased from history. Suddenly, all sorts of things named after, obviously, the Queen we know, just gone. Erased. Forever, seemingly. And where a statue of her once stood is now just an empty throne. Abby and Shauna do agree that all this is strange, and Cleo has to ask herself why she's the only one who's remembering this. And she's worried that if people can forget like this, what if she forgets her friends, or her friends forget her? She doesn't want to think about that. But they say fond farewell, and she goes back inside to work. But there's a woman waiting there. The woman is Cleo's mother, who obviously they have a very complicated relationship. But her mother doesn't care about anything really right then. She wants to know if she's heard it from Jordan. Because since, well, Cleo's last conversation with Jordan, where he made a mention of how all this is dangerous and she's got to be careful, it seems that Jordan's missing. Can't get an answer on the phone. Jordan is gone. Jordan is lost. And that's it. That's it for this episode. And it's a really cool episode. Especially, like I said earlier, it's definitely grounded far more than the previous episode going bombastic at the end. Here, though, this end is gonna make you worry a little bit. I admit, when I first met Jordan, I didn't care for him much. I didn't want him dead, though. But it seems that he might be lost. The question is, will Cleo be able to remember? We're going to have to wait to find out. Obviously, there are some theories going on around here. And we'll dig into those. Like, one is suggesting that maybe the silence creature, Moffat creature, is behind these disappearances, and it could make some sense. It would have to extend their powers a little bit, but that's about it. Honestly, I'm intrigued with every episode. I know I'm behind. Please don't leave the review. Just please make sure to also like and comment and subscribe, and I'll do my best to catch up. We also, the Madmen here, want to thank you so much for subscribing if you have, and sticking around. We have more stuff coming out by the time this is released. The 5 Doctors is what we're reviewing this Wednesday. You should definitely be there, or you may be square, and we don't want you square. We want you kind of rectangular, like a familiar blue box that we know. But that's all the time I have for today. I want to thank you so much. Remind you, you're special. And just say, bye, Geronimo, Alonzi. See you next time.